Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little buddy with me. I decided not to risk sitting her down and her possibly getting fussy and me having to get up, and she really likes looking at herself in the camera. So hopefully she'll just stay happy while I show you what is in our February morning basket. Now I had thought to get to this earlier in February, but now I'm thinking that when I do a morning basket video and show you what we've been reading, it might just end up being the end of the month because I don't always know exactly what we're gonna read for the month. I don't plan that far ahead. It just kind of evolves, and books get added that I hadn't planned. So I'm just gonna show you what we have been reading in the month of February and what's probably gonna carry over to at least the beginning of March. Now, the first thing is The Story of the World, Volume 1, Ancient Times. I forgot to show this last time for January, but this is just going to be read all year long. But we recently started reading about ancient Rome and the Romans. And I don't actually read this book. Sometimes I do, just to reread a story. But we actually listen to it when we're driving and when we're going places. So the kids and I just listen to it, and they really like it presented better in that way. I think we just read so much at home that it's nice to listen to someone else read for a change. But they really seem to absorb it more, and they like it better when we listen to it in the car. And because we started the ancient Rome sort of unit study, when we went to the library, we just picked up some more books to add to what was already scheduled to be read. But one of the books that we've read and the kids loved was The Bloody Rotten Roman Empire, The Disgusting Details About Life in Ancient Rome by James A. Corrick. Let's see if I can show you guys any pictures. But basically, this book was just like each page had a fact and an illustration to go with it. And it talked about some disgusting things about life in Rome. About their not so great methods of waste disposal and how they use urine to bleach clothing, and then of course the gladiators and all the killing and bloodiness back then, and then also slavery. So really just all the awful nasty facts about ancient Rome, and the kids loved it. I think we read this in just 2 sittings. They loved hearing about all the gross and horrible things that happened in ancient Rome. And then the next one that's part of our February morning basket is First Facts About Ancient Romans. This one's a little less exciting for them, but they still enjoy it. And each page or 2 pages starts with a fact. I don't know if you can see it. Just the kind of book that has a lot of little interesting tidbits on it, not really read in story form or anything like that. So I just read maybe a fact a day, and then we look at the pictures and talk about it a little bit. And then our main morning read aloud is The Last Girls of Pompeii, which is a historical fiction about a pair of girls. One is the wealthy girl that comes from a wealthy family, and then her personal slave, which is a girl about 5 or 6 years older than her, and they've been together since the wealthy girl's birth. And we haven't got, let's see, we're about halfway through it, so I don't know what's gonna happen yet, or exactly what ends up happening, but it's about 2 girls in Pompeii, and it has a lot of neat, historically accurate facts in there. It mentions fullers and how they use urine to bleach cloths, and gladiators, and the slavery and where the slaves came from, and things of that nature. So I really like this book. The only thing I can say about it that would be a negative, it's not really a negative, I just didn't know it was going to be this way, but it's actually for kids maybe 11 and up, and my kids are not 11 and up. They are 9 and 6. And so some things I kind of switch the words or I gloss over because it does mention concubines and, like soft, I guess, sexual references that my kids don't really understand completely anyways because it's so subtle. But that's something to be aware of if you want to read that book, if you're studying ancient Rome or Pompeii. And I forgot to mention, the author of this book is Catherine Lasky. The other book that we're reading is Pompeii Buried Alive. And on the back, it just says, it's a step into reading book, so it's just really thin little book about Pompeii. But on the back, it says, did you know a volcano can erupt without warning? Did you know a whole town can disappear? Read this book to find out what happened to a town named Pompeii when Mount Vesuvius erupted almost 2,000 years ago. And I just thought this would be a nice companion, and ignore the price stickers on there. I thought this would be a nice companion to the historical fiction, The Last Girls of Pompeii, and just kind of make that connection and make it more real. I'm pretty sure, since this is a book about Pompeii, we haven't got to this point yet in the story, but I'm pretty sure it's going to involve the two girls and the volcano erupting and maybe how they deal with that. We're only halfway through and it has not happened yet. It's been more about some ancient Roman life right now. And not the volcano, but some foreshadowing about maybe the volcano erupting soon. But I thought to understand maybe the gravity of what happened in Pompeii, we'd do The Last Girls of Pompeii and just, bring it to life. That's the purpose of using living books, and invoke maybe a emotional response about something that happened thousands of years ago. And then the last thing is I picked up at the library. It's not really a morning read aloud, but it kind of goes along with the rest of the books that we had for February. So I thought I would mention it really quick. But it's Spend the Day in Ancient Rome, Projects and Activities to Bring the Past to Life by Linda Honan. And this is just, I thought it was really neat. I was so surprised. I don't know why I'm surprised when I find really valuable books at the library. I guess it's because we live in such a small town. I don't think that they'll have things like this. I don't know. But I found this at the library, and it just has cool projects that you can do. Like this one is a legionary's helmet, and it's how to make your own helmet, and do Roman artwork, and how to make an oil lamp. Let's see. Oh, and also some cooking. So it has some recipes in here. So really like an arts and crafts and cooking, just everything in this one activity book. And we've only done one thing so far, and it didn't come from the activity book, which I'm now going to show you. But I hope to get to stuff in here really soon. But I found something really cool at Goodwill this past weekend, and it was only $2, and you guys know when you're a homeschool parent or just a parent in general and you can find something super cheap that when you go onto Amazon it's like $10 or $15 brand new. It's just, I don't know. It's a really nice feeling. But we found a 3D puzzle of the Colosseum at Goodwill. It had been opened but never actually put together, so all the pieces were here. And we put this together this past weekend, and now we just keep it on the dining table while we do our work and while we read aloud, and the kids just look at it and take this off, and we talk about the gladiators, and they want to make little people and animals and stuff to put in here. So I don't know, I had to include this and show you guys this because I just think it's fascinating. I've never done one of these puzzles before. My kids haven't either, but I haven't done one, and it was really time consuming, but also really fun. And I was just so excited to find that. It was only $2. $2 for the whole puzzle at Goodwill. So that's what we have been reading and doing as part of our February morning basket. What are you guys studying in your homeschool, if you do homeschool? Or what have you been reading aloud to your kids this past month? I'd love to know. And also if you have any suggestions, especially historical fiction, to go along with our ancient Roman study, I would really like those suggestions below, because my kids are really enjoying the ancients a whole lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you all again really soon.